can't be balanced for one day? Jesus. Oh, man.
And then he calls for help from Jesus. He's not a Christian. He's calling for help from Jesus.
Resurrected Christ.
Guys, I'm out. On that, it's over. It's
They
over.
didn't.
Garfield, the
They didn't
closet
at
Christian,
first
continues to show himself.
he was
Family,
never
peace
referred
and
to
love. I'll
as
talk to you soon.
Jesus
Shem Tap.
in his lifetime.
Tips and when I send it to ET, then Ishak and Dugu Kemet. I hope you're doing well. The title of this video is Brother Garfield, an undercover Christian. Isn't it ironic? I have stated before that it is possible that Brother Garfield is a Christian on the low. It is possible that he's founded, that he's financed by some Christian group, Christian organization, Christian apologist. And unfortunately, he has stated that he is not a Christian. Or maybe he said he's not a Christian apologist. But this is some evidence here to the contrary. Why would he hide the fact that he is a Christian if he is so? And if he is not a Christian, and why did he scream Jesus so loudly with such passion? He didn't call on Yahweh. He didn't call on Allah. But he screamed out Jesus' name. Can we believe him? Is this the explanation for all the noise he's been making during this time? Does that explain why his group is teaching pseudo stuff like Hebrews are Africans, coming from a guy who used to be a Hebrew Israelite and who is probably still a Hebrew Israelite, directing you to other books from some scholars who are also doing some Abrahamic breakdown and trying to tie it to African people, African languages, African story, history. What do you think? What is your opinion about that, brothers and sisters? Because this is very clear.
Come on, bro. Why you can't be balanced for one day? Jesus. Oh, man.
And then he calls for help from Jesus. He's not a
That speaks volume to me. It's self-explanatory to me. It speaks for itself to me. What about you, brothers and sisters? I mean, what more do we need? Do we need a video recording of Garfield on his knees praying to the statue of Jesus? Isn't that sufficient? Haven't you noticed that the majority of people from the Black community, and even outside of the Black community for that matter, the majority of people who criticize and bang on community people are Abrahamic believers? So it's not physical. I cannot label it a crusade, but we are not far off. Now, so far I've seen that people are okay with bending over, getting spanked in the booty and plagiarizing. So maybe some of you as well scream out Jesus' name when you find yourself in some difficulty, when you find yourself in an uncomfortable situation, when you happen to be upset or disappointed or surprised. Maybe that's the way you roll. And if that's the way you roll, then please let me know. Maybe it's a reflex, it's automatic. If you walk on the street, you trip, you're about to fall, and you scream, Jesus! Maybe that's a reaction of someone who claims to be non-Christian. Why do you think he's hiding? his religion? Could it be that he is not an Orthodox Christian? Could it be that him and his Bati crew have a different kind of Christian movement or religious movement where alternative lifestyles are the norms? You're not going to be silent on that one. Garfield, if you're there, manifest yourself. Manifest yourself in the name of Jesus Christ. Thou shalt not call the name of the Lord in vain. They don't have taqiyya in Christianity. The taqiyya is in Islam. Would you believe somebody tells you he's not a Christian, but he's screaming at Jesus like that? So far, in the so-called conscious community, the main people who have been kicking knowledge are the people of the Islamic camp, Islamic side, Islamic persuasion, Nation of Islam, Moorish Science Temple of America, Nation of Gods and Earth, and Orthodox Muslims sometimes. Then you will have people who follow Kemet, people who follow Ma'at. The Christians, every now and then you will hear some, but they have always been they have always been somewhat of a minority in comparison with the Asiatic persuasion. So maybe they are trying to get on by any means necessary, even if that includes false flagging. You had the Dotu pay Richard Carrier, and maybe all these other European scholars got paid as well to appear on the broadcast. Where's the dough coming from? Where is the bag coming from? Where is the bag coming from? His main occupation that we knew of was the credit repair. He has not advertised it for a while, so it appears that it might not be his occupation anymore. Does he have an occupation? If he doesn't, how does he sustain himself? Where does the bag come from? Is it far-fetched? Is it far-fetched? I mean, hasn't he been one of the greatest soldier slash warrior that Christianity ever had?
Come on, bro. Why he can't be balanced for one day? Jesus.
James Powell is in the place to be, and Chris MVP Harris says, yes, he's a Christian. It appears so to me as well. He betrayed himself. He couldn't help it. He couldn't hold it because he was aggravated, he was irritated, he was upset. So he had to let something out. He had to let something out. And the first thing that came in his mind is the name of his Lord and Savior, Jesus the Christ, who died for the sins of humanity. But why does he hide that he's a Christian? Why is he hiding it? What is the agenda? Why would you hide it? Should we nickname him Donnie Brasco? Should we call him Donnie Garfield? For those who haven't seen the movie Donnie Brasco, it's based on a true story. I think the real name of the cop used to be Joey Pistone. He has surely changed his name and most likely went through some surgery in order to change his appearance. He infiltrated the mafia. The movie is portrayed Donnie Brasco in the movie, the undercover agent, is portrayed by Johnny Depp, and the other lead actor of the movie is Al Pacino. And Donnie Brasco successfully infiltrated the mafia, and he had several mafia members prosecuted. So could Garfield be the Donnie Brasco of Christianity or the Donnie Brasco of the conscious community? Is it a problem now for people to say that they are Christians in the West, in America? Rabbi Toy wrote, nah, he's not a Christian. That was just a figure of speech. Do you use that figure of speech? How many people, brothers and sisters, do you know that are not Christians and they scream, Jesus, when they are upset, when something surprises them, when something shocks them? I mean, for someone to say, God, oh my God, I could understand, but it didn't say God or oh my God. There it is. Smash Rockwell makes a good point here. Would a Muslim, would a Muslim use that figure of speech? I've yet to hear a Muslim say Jesus or Isa. I've yet to hear a Hebrew or Jew Hebrew Israelite say Yahshua. So then why is Garfield, if he's not a Christian, why is he
Come on, bro. Why he can't be balanced for one day? Jesus. Oh man.
And then he calls for help from Jesus. He's not.
And I agree with Smash Rockwell, that's a Christian figure of speech. See, sometimes in life, things can be very ironic. People can play their role very well, but something ultimately may uncover what was hidden. Do you remember when I talked about some things that are in the dark will ultimately come into the light? Now, there are other things, a bit more obscure things, about some allegation that he put out like that in the air publicly, which is hard to fathom, not to say hard to believe. I mean, if somebody, really does something to a loved one and you don't do anything, you don't even criticize a person, but you spend your whole days, weeks, months, years. It's been years. It's been more than 1 year, maybe more, probably more than 2 years now that he's been going at one particular person. But a dude would do something to one of your loved one of your family member. You don't have any smoke for that person. But here, there has to be something here. This is a Christian figure of speech. I've been in a few different countries, and I don't recall hearing non-Christians screaming, Jesus! So the evidence presented to the court leads the jury to deliberate and bring the verdict of we, the jury, thereby found the defendant an undercover Christian. So, Brother Garfield, you no longer have to hide your Christianity. Or maybe it's not Christianity. Maybe he believes in Jesus with some other kind of religious movement. Probably the same kind of religious movement of his master teacher. Because for those who don't know, he has stated live on air who his master teacher was. And when we look at how his master teacher get down,
ridiculous Asar Imhotep. First of all, let's get to know Asar Imhotep. Listen for yourself.
Did you go through any kind of hazing process, bro? Did
No,
you go
I
through a hazing
pledged.
process?
Yes.
Okay, so you went through a hazing process.
No, I pledged. There's a difference.
Okay, so as you went through the hazing process, did they slap you on the ass with a paddle?
Yes, they did.
Oh, okay. So you bent over, you grabbed your ankles, and that paddle was smacking that ass.
Basically.
Okay.
Now, I have two videos: academic butt spanking, part one and part two. I went over the activity of those people who pledge. This is the tip of the iceberg. They don't just bend over and get smacked in the bum. Some of them don't have any trousers or pants or underwear on. Some of them have objects inserted inside of their anus. Some of them are placed into stress positions. What kind of positions? Some of them spend hours naked in some room with other people. So we might have an alternative religious movement, some sort of nudist and all loving religious movement. And remember, you can go to my video entitled LGBT Agenda. One of his close associates, and I'm talking about Brother Garfield, come from a school of thought where Paul was a homosexual. I went to the source. I read the book. I read the scroll. So what could it be? Now, and Christian VP Harris wrote, no, he's a Christian with a hidden agenda. What could his agenda be? Help me, brothers and sisters. I need your help in order to come to terms with this because this is something new. We're not used to seeing things like that. Are Kemetic people the number one target of Christians nowadays? Because they are seeing that we can go through the text and reveal some stuff that most people don't know. James Powell wrote, Family Matter Forever is a realist as I see him. If you have a problem with any of his comments, confront him. That man will talk it over with you. Yes, if you agree or disagree, feel free. Whether you have blonde hair or green hair or black hair, whoever's proud of their hair, the natural hair, will not parade themselves with some, avatar where they have blonde hair, and it's very funny. So no matter your lifestyle, no matter if you get spanked in the booty, bending over, holding your ankle, teaching that Hebrews are Africans and that the Hebrew language is an African language and that the Hebrew language is coordinated with the Yoruba language, no matter if you pseudo, no matter if you teach that Cam doesn't mean black, no matter if you teach that, no matter what you teach, you are welcome. I've shared the link in the chat. You can get on the platform if you don't mind showing your face. Otherwise, you can use the chat. We have Ruba the Fresh. Well, Sister Thickness. Peace to you, sister. She wrote Garfield is a tether, and his son is an anchor boy. Babe, what do you talk about his son? It's like, is it over 18? I will, if he's not over 18, it'd be best not to talk about his son. But the term tether, I don't really like it because I usually hear it coming from Tariq Nasheed, and he uses that term for any person that is not FBA, as he says, foundational Black American. So anybody that comes from another country, he will label them that. And I think this term causes more division than anything else. I don't think that Tariq Nasheed would have called Marcus Garvey a tether, or Ivan Van Sertima, or Stokely Carmichael, or Dr. Ben. Not attacking his child, but it's true. But what do you mean? First of all, is he over 18? Is his child over 18? And therefore, I don't trust anything he says. He can't teach me anything. No, anchor baby, an immigrant having a child just to say in the States is not an attack at all. Oh, well, we don't have no way of knowing that. We don't have any way of knowing that. So, he's there and, he's there and that's it. I don't know how he got there. It's there. Oh, I don't trust him either. No, I do not trust Brother Garfield either. I mean, his master teacher is a plagiarizer. A serial plagiarizer that plagiarizes in many different languages, multilingual plagiarizer, man. And he has the nerve to say such and such doesn't have any integrity. And he's the one plagiarizing. It's the world upside down. And he's pseudo as heck. And I'm sure some of you haven't heard that, but this is what he claimed.
Allah, and this is where I would disagree with Brother Shaka, is actually in the Egyptian text.
Allah is in the Egyptian text. Is that pseudo or not?
The god Allah is an indigenous African god.
The god Allah is an indigenous African god. Is that pseudo or not?
Heru would be the same thing as Allah.
Heru will be the same thing as Allah. Is that pseudo or not?
These Hebrews, come from and who they are specifically, because based upon my research, these are African people.
Hebrews are African people based on his research. Is that pseudo or not?
This is how we know that the Hebrews, first of all, you got to understand that Hebrew is an African language.
Hebrew is an African language. Is that pseudo or not?
In the Ogun book, I go into the linguistics to demonstrate, as we just talked about, how Ogun is Cain and how Abel is the pastoralist in this thing, but how Abel relates to the word Fulani.
Ogun is Cain and Abel relates to the word Fulani. Is that pseudo or not?
Then when you do a linguistic analysis, you understand that the Hebrew language is cognate with the Yoruba language.
The Hebrew language is cognate with the Yoruba language. I don't need to ask you if it's pseudo or not. This is pseudo. This is straight up. Why is Garfield banging on Jabari allegedly for spreading misinformation when his own master teacher is spreading all these pseudo teachings? The hidden agenda. Because his master teacher is part of the crew, the Bati crew.
Come on, bro. Why you can't be balanced for one day? Jesus. Oh, man.
And then he calls for help from Jesus.
Chief X exposed Garfield and Unc's Crackpipe channel expose him. Or Unc Crackpipe is a trolling channel. Anonymous, unidentified, Chief X, I mean, he's been saying for a good couple of years at least that ancient Egyptians were not black. And he said F Kemet, F the Hotep word. I made a live stream about that. I've sent him some messages on his social media. He never replied, and he doesn't have to. It's not under any obligation to, but just to let him know that I was addressing what he was saying. So it's been very disrespectful towards Kemetic people, towards Kemet, towards yeah. Now I'll post the link to the video if I find them. This was a minute ago. I wouldn't share Chief X videos, I mean. I wouldn't do that myself. If his child is under 18, I apologize, but it wasn't an insult. Yeah, I understand where you're coming from. But we have to be careful, when we address people's family members, particularly when they are not adults yet, And if you ever heard me talking about his daughter, it's because Garfield himself stated loud on the air that his daughter was violated by someone who is now a priest in Jabari's organization. And it's difficult to believe that statement, and the word violated might be an exaggeration. Maybe they were together as a couple and they broke up, because I don't see how you will spend all these years this in Jabari when Jabari didn't do any such thing to his daughter, but the guy who did this to his daughter is not going to say anything. It just doesn't add up at all. And we've seen all the live streams where the words "I want all the smoke" were in the title of his live streams. But he doesn't want the smoke for the guy who allegedly violated his daughter. It just doesn't add up. Just like him saying that he's not a Christian and then screaming out loud.
Come on, bro. Why you can't be balanced for one day? Jesus.
Jesus. James Powell wrote, I think Chief X is just an attention getter. Chief X doesn't really do live streams, does he? Because if he does live streams, there will be the chat. Now, people will express themselves in the chat and they'll probably say some things that will be inconvenient. They'll probably refute him, contradict him. And if he does live streams, I doubt that he will have people on his panel without them being screened beforehand. People know I don't screen the calls here. I don't screen the callers. And you can try me. You don't like me, you don't appreciate me, you don't believe me, you're welcome. Get on the panel. As long as you show your face, you are welcome. You can be on the panel. If you don't want to show your face, then you have the chat. If I don't reply to your chat, the message is still there. Unless I block you if you're trolling. We have one brother who claims to be indigenous to America, and he never wants to show his face. He usually come with, different usernames and make statements about me, about my origin, about my geographic location. Not all of you know him, but those who've been following my live stream for a while, they know exactly who I'm talking about. I don't want to say his name, not to make advertisement about him. He also made some shows about me, and for the most part, I didn't even listen to the live stream. I scrolled through the videos like that, and that's it. Because once again, he is anonymous and unidentified, and people like that are not that important. They're not really worth too much energy spent on them. It's more constructive to deal with people who are not anonymous and unidentified. Because someone who is anonymous and unidentified doesn't have to own up to what he says. There's no accountability. There's no responsibility. Anything goes. Anything goes. The guy can state anything. There's no responsibility, no accountability. Now, there's another thing from Brother Garfield's master teacher, the same guy who used to bend over against spanking the booty.
Fly in English is the same word, except we don't have the prefix sound in there in the word fly. And so the word, the phoneme R is now L in English, and the P sound is F, in English. It's just simply the word. It's a very old word. It's all in Indo-European. Is in every African language.
So even the word fly in English apparently derives from the Medu Neter, Keper or Keper. I mean, you have to respect the scholarship. Linguists are no joke, man. I'm sorry. He's no longer a linguist. He used to for about 10 years now. He's a cultural theorist. Cultural theorists are no joke, man. They do the work. Unlike Obenga, as they claim, unlike Diop, as they claim, they do the work. They make the demonstration. They even have charts, tables. They show you phonemes and they make the sound correspondences. I mean, they are very deep, very thorough. They even make live streams, those cultural theorists and Africana researchers and software developers. They make live streams and they criticize PhDs in linguistics. And they tell the people, this is how you do the work. And they have nice looking charts too. Sometimes in their charts, the terms, that went from one language to another, sometimes you will have them in red. They are deep. They are deep. And the only door that they need to cross is the door of metaphysics. There they will excel. To deal with metaphysics, you just have to make claims and you're good to go. You can make any linguistic breakdown. You might make linguistic breakdown about, bend over, get spanked in the booty. Some tribes in Africa, they do the same thing. That's the essence of Africanness. And, homo need, homo sapien sapien. So homo is the way to go. Who knows? What's next? So, brothers and sisters, it seems pretty clear that Brother Garfield is a Christian. He used to be undercover for so long. What could be the agenda? It is obvious that he's not dealing with orthodoxy, he's not dealing with Orthodox Christianity, nor Orthodox Catholicism. So what could it be? There's other kinds of churches, for example, the Church of Scientology. What could it be? We have to be very careful. I don't think he will hold his tongue for very long, because he has quickly revealed that Brother Reggie was the one helping him for his slides in order to debate Barry a while back. He revealed that without being coerced or threatened. So we might have some other revelations. Or maybe he will not be the one who will reveal some stuff, but I'm sure some of you will be surprised, because I know some of you have that mentality of, well, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. Maybe we'll have a picture or video of Garfield going to church or leaving a church. What kind of church? I don't know. Maybe we'll have video footage of him screaming and shouting, foaming at the mouth inside of a place of worship. Maybe we will have a testimony from someone, male or female, that will say, yeah, I know the dude. I know how he gets down. Whoop-de-whoop, whoop-de-whoop. But there, he was caught sleeping. He betrayed himself.
Come on, bro. Why you can't be balanced for one day? Jesus. Oh, man.
And then he calls for help from Jesus. He's not a Christian. He's calling for help from Jesus.
Resurrected Christ.
He could have said, my goodness. He could have said, damn. He could have said, snap. He could have said, Fuck. He could have said the S word. He could have said so many damn things. Can he fool us by claiming that he is not a Christian? Or maybe he says he's not a Christian because he's just a believer in Jesus, but not in Christianity. Since he threw Brother Reggie under the bus, I think he's the kind of guy who will throw so many people under the bus, without blinking. And those who are close to him now, they will feel it one day. They will be crying to the community. That ain't right. I don't know how the community will react, but I won't have much to say. When you know and you see people associating themselves with plagiarizers, straight liars, and pseudos, while at the same time going at others, labeling them cult leaders without any evidence whatsoever, without any proof whatsoever, and claiming that it's because they are teaching wrong information, while at the same time his own master teacher is one of the most pseudo dude on the planet Earth, is fishy. That's red flags right there. That means if you're down with this dude, the wake up call will be painful. All this to me shows the behavior of a fraud, in the sense of a fake one, a faker. So I let you marinate on that. I'm glad that when I live streamed earlier, someone just put a message that made me think about this again. I was reminded of that and I had to share this. It is there for the record, for the benefit of the court. And now, Your Honor, ladies and gentlemen, members of the jury, now that I have done my information duty, or should we continue? Because I don't see any more comments and nobody gets on the platform. So I'm presuming that most of the people who are there are those who are waiting to catch me sleeping. My detractors, people who don't like me because I criticize their pseudo leaders and master teachers. People who don't like me because I just don't get bent over and get spanked in the booty and act like it's cool. Or else there will be some participation. And lately I have noticed that there's more people than usual. So haters, welcome haters. Hi haters. You can definitely watch me and monitor me. Even if you catch me sleeping, it will be over some very minor issue. I'm comfortable. I'm confident. You guys are the liars, the plagiarizers. You guys are from the Bati crew. You guys accept everything and anything. You guys don't have any integrity. You guys barely have any scholarship. And I don't need to say names. You know exactly who you are. So stay safe, stay healthy, and if I am allowed to by the Necheru, I will definitely holler back at you, Hotel.
Now, for the record, for those who don't know, I'm giving middle nature classes. And here, that's the flyer. Okay? So, those who are interested, feel free to holler at me. If you're not interested, it's cool. But I recommend everybody I recommend that everybody who has not yet seen the video Kemet and Ma'at Before Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, then watch it. It has about 300,000 views and really deserves to have a lot more.
I just want to let everyone know who's listening in now and who's going to listen to this stream in the future. I just had my first Meta Nature class by Brother Shaka today, and I've had other Meta Nature lessons by other teachers, and I can tell you right now, the brother is the best in the game. He is that was one of the best classes I've ever had, ever. So if you're interested in learning the Meta Nature, if you're interested in getting the basics of it, Brother Shaka is an awesome teacher. Get with him, and it's extremely affordable. This brother is giving us his time and his skills, and he's basically giving it away. I mean, I just consider it a donation. You know what I'm saying? So if anybody's interested in learning the Meta Nature, get with this brother right here. He's an awesome, awesome, awesome teacher. And I'll end with that.
Hotep Senu, Hena Senut. This is Julie, also known as Servant of Yah, and I'm currently taking the Medu Neture classes with Brother Shaka, and it has been an amazing experience. Only 2 lessons so far, and I feel like I've been taking the classes for months, just with the how in depth he goes into the vocabulary words, the construction of the language, the grammar. It's been immeasurable, the experience. And one thing that comes across, hands down, is his extreme passion for teaching this to anyone who is willing to learn and has an interest in learning. So I highly suggest, if you are interested, even a minimal interest, that you subscribe to the classes with Brother Shaka. It's such a nominal amount for how much you get. I know, like, our last class was over 2.5 hours. It felt like 2 minutes, but because that's how, involved you are in what he's teaching and how he teaches and how compassionate he is about what he teaches. Also with sharing materials free of charge, no question, no doubt. It's just what he does. He doesn't have to, but he does. And so I just wanted to give a short testimonial about the class and the effectiveness of the class. And all of that is attested to how studied Brother Shaka is. So I highly recommend anyone with a minimal interest that you do sign up for the Medu Neture class. Hotep.
Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, which is Ma'at Forever. Don't forget to watch the video entitled Kemet and Ma'at. Don't forget to share Kemet and Ma'at on my channel on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, or other social media that you use. Email, text messages, you name it. Those who wish to donate can do so on paypal.me/ma'atforever.